We're going to the phones. We got line 5, Canada. Nikita, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So my mom and dad actually never even talked about money.
So it's the neglectful. It's the neglect relationship. Dysfunctional in that it doesn't exist. Right? Imagine a person in our lives and they live with us, right? They're around us 24/7, but we never talk about them.
Yeah, and then, so all I had was their behaviors to watch.
Yeah.
And my dad would, he had good money management. He would save and pay for something in cash, but he was extremely secretive about it. So I didn't know until I became an adult that he was actually saving for what he wanted, like a flat screen TV or something. But my mom, she was credit card. She was entitled, and it was like, if I want it, I should have it. So she would just go to the store, and if there was extra credit on her credit card, she would use it on whatever she wanted.
Wow. So look at that, Nikita, because I want to address both of those things. So one is secretive, the other was entitled. Now, if we were to equate this to a physical person, right? And if there was a relationship with somebody in your life and they felt entitled to give you whatever you want, when you want it, tell me, how healthy is that relationship?
Not at all.
Not at all. What ends up happening in those types of relationships, right? So if I was abusive in that way, because that's really what that is, Nikita, you are my friend and you owe me. I want that dress. You're going to give it to me now. I deserve it. I work hard. It should be mine. Give me the money now. How long are you going to stay around me?
I don't think for very long.
No. And do you think at some point you might fight back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the 18.9%. That's the 18.9% that slaps you up the head silly at the end of the month when you get your bill for the dress you just bought. Yeah. Bottom line, man, we really do have relationships with money. And if we are entitled, it punches us back. Either that or it runs from us. It runs from us. It doesn't want to be abused in that way anymore, so it stays far away from us. Or if we are secretive with it, right? Then gosh, what does that do as a kid? You don't know you're supposed to be saving money. Who in the world was supposed to teach you that you're supposed to save money? The school? No. So then what does that do? Secrets are hidden. They're hidden. So therefore, you didn't learn the value of saving. You didn't learn that the kind of relationship, the healthy kind of relationship that you should have with money because everything was in secret. So what do we end up doing? We make costly mistakes because of secrets that are kept, things that are unknown. We aren't benefiting if they were good, you know what I mean? Or bad for that matter, right? We've been parents that have shared our financial failures, our physical, spiritual, emotional, verbal failures. We've shared those failures with our kids, our bad choices that we made as young people. We've shared those kind of things with our kids. And why? To prepare them not to make the same mistakes that we made so that they can learn from our mistakes. Some have chosen to go in the same direction. Some have chosen to stay far away from the consequences in which my husband and I have had to suffer because of that. So anyway, thanks so much for sharing. Yeah, so let me ask you, Nikita, which direction did you go? Entitled or secret?
I'm trying to fight the entitled, but it's really hard. Like when you grow up and nothing was ever held from you. You never learned the value of saving for yourself, so it was always just given to you.
Yeah.
So now it's like, as an adult and a married mom of almost 2, it's like, how do I manage my money properly?
Yeah.
You know, to stop going down the entitled route.
Mm-hmm. Well, you tell me. You've gone down the entitled route, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Yeah. It's downright slavery. Yeah. Not even, it's like we went into debt for our wedding, so.
Oy. How much? How much?
And a car, about $60,000.
Oh!
And so we surrendered our car, and we're slowly climbing our way out of the debt, but it's like when we were dating, we weren't in debt, so we were 2 totally different people. And then all of a sudden, bam, on wedding day, we were two totally different people. So we've had to completely rebuild a totally different relationship that's pretty much just started off in bondage.
Wow.
Hard.
All for one day.
Yeah, all for one day.
Wow. And years later, you're still paying for it.
Yeah.
What do you say to that couple that's engaged right now, Nikita?
Oh, please don't go into debt.
Yes.
Just use the cash you have and go down to City Hall if that's all you can afford.
Yes. Yes. Tell me, how would you feel if that's what you had done?
We'd be free.
Yes.
We wouldn't be crying that we couldn't go on dates every week. We wouldn't be concerned that we can't, like, he can't buy me flowers because it just seems like a waste of money these days. It's like, oh, we've got so much debt. Why are we paying $20 for a bouquet of flowers? When in actuality, I probably would love that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, if I could go back and give myself advice, I wouldn't step near debt at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so climbing out of this debt. Okay, now here's a tip. Now, I understand your husband's making the choice not to buy flowers. He wants to buy you flowers, but he also wants to pay off this debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Making a card, drawing pictures, writing beautiful, loving words are so much more powerful than $20 on a bouquet of flowers. He could literally put 12 little pieces of paper, right, and write 12 beautiful things. See, that is so much more meaningful than the 20. Because you know, if you would have got the flowers, you're like, but honey, we have this debt. You know what I mean? So it's like a bittersweet if he does buy you that thing. You know what I mean? It's a bittersweet. It's like, oh, thank you. It's so sweet. But we could have put that towards MasterCard. We could have put that to that stupid wedding we had. Anyway. But things like that are just so much more important. We've been conditioned in today's world to buy in order to make people feel loved. That buying does not make people feel loved. It's the heart, it's the time that is behind it. And so if we could, I much rather hear the words, the encouragement written down on something, or the time spent, the loves, the hugs, the eyeball to eyeball, the mouth to mouth. I'd much rather have that than if I was suffering in the debt that you, and as I was before, suffering under that horrific debt and that slavery of it and having no way to pay it. Those words are so much more life-giving. Oh, thank you so much, Nikita, for sharing that story. And I love it. Yes, people do have entitlement with money. And entitlement, people, you know, if you got someone entitled in your life, you get tired of it eventually. It starts to fight back. And when it comes to money, the way your entitlement is fighting back is with your debt. It's punching you in the face. It's tormenting you at night. You, my friend, need to get free from that entitlement so that you can punch back, annihilate that debt, and live as a free person. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.